Hi everybody and welcome back to my Lawn Bowls for Fun channel. Alec here. Now today I want to talk about a strange subject really, which is how to save time without losing focus. So what am I saying there? Because there's certainly, I've always told new people I teach, when you're on the mat, you take your time, spend as long as you like, setting yourself up before you bowl. And that is still the case. I wouldn't change that. Although some people do tend to take longer than others, I suppose I'm fairly quick. I decide what I'm going to do, stand on the mat, get myself comfortable, and I then bowl. But some people, they stand on the mat and they spend a long time thinking about what they're going to be doing. But again, there is nothing wrong with that, and individuals, everyone's different. If that's what you need to do, fine. No, it's more a case of, let me just explain. Last week, I played in a league game, and we took a team, 3 rinks, over to another club. And in fact, at that club, they had 2 teams playing, 2 of their own teams playing, so all 6 rinks were in use. And these days, it stays light quite late in the evening, but of course we've had the longest day some weeks ago now, so the nights are starting to draw in. And in the United Kingdom, we do have a problem in the early part of the season and the late part of the season with it sometimes starting to get dark and the game's not finished. And on this game on Tuesday, we had these 6 rinks being played, and 5 of those rinks finished all about the same time. There was probably about a 5-minute difference between the first one finishing and the 5th one finishing. But there was one rink that still had 3 ends to go. They were still playing another end anyway, and they had 3 more after that. So they were a good 20-25 minutes behind everybody else. So why is that? So I started watching it a little bit to see whether I could work out what the problem was. It may well be that they just had a lot of measures, which can take time. Sometimes you can go through a game but hardly measuring at all. Other times you seem to be measuring almost every end. But even so, it shouldn't add another 20-25 minutes to a game. So I started watching. There was one person that did take their time, which is fine, but again, that wouldn't account for that extended time to play the game. And then I realised what it was. It's only a little thing, but it can make a huge difference. Now, when it's your turn to bowl, let's say I'm playing 2, and the 2 leads are just finishing, I would always go and pick my bowl up ready when it's my turn. And then when the mat is vacated, I can stand on the mat and I can bowl. But what I was noticing was that none of them were doing that. They were waiting until the bowl had been bowled and stopped. Then they would start looking for their bowl. Now, if you've got coloured bowls, you can spot them quite quickly. But most of those players that were really taking their time were struggling to find where their bowls were. And that adds 10-15 seconds to every single time you're looking for your bowl. Whereas you should be doing that while the other person's on the mat just about to bowl. You can be looking for your bowl and have it in your hand ready to go. So as soon as they finish, as soon as they come off the mat, you're ready to stand on the mat and bowl yourself. Don't start looking for your bowl then. And 6 of those 8 players in that game, there was a 4-side, were doing that. And if they're all wasting 10 or 15 seconds of time, you can see how it can all add up to 20-25 minutes of why they were that far behind. Having the odd player do that isn't too bad, but when you've got 6 out of 8 doing that, it really is quite, it does add a lot of time to the game. They also did have, the couple of ends I watched, they did measure both as well, so they were a bit unlucky with that, but that was quite, makes quite a lot of difference. So my tip is, you don't want to lose focus. You want to watch what the other player's doing, but there's still plenty of time while he's still thinking about it to pick your bowl up and stand behind to watch what he's doing. And it doesn't make you lose focus at all, because the bowl's in your hand, you're ready to go straight away. In fact, it's probably even better than then looking for your bowl, because then you do lose focus. So it's only a little thing, but do try that. Don't wait until it's your turn to bowl before you start looking for your bowls. They should be in your hand ready to go, and that will make a lot of difference. And I'm sure if everybody on that rink had done that, they wouldn't have been 20, 25 minutes behind everybody else. They might have been 10 minutes behind, but certainly not that long. Another small thing is that when the threes are deciding what shots are shot and which aren't, how often do you see them sort of standing around, looking around, all the different angles? You certainly should look at the head from 2 different angles to see which one is nearer. But sometimes you see them doing a circle of the bowls concerned. It's just as quick just to get down and measure it. Don't hang about doing all this palaver, you know, trying to see which shot is shot. So again, that's another thing that can impact on the length of the game. It's not a big problem now because it's still quite late on at sort of 9 o'clock, 9:15. But in a few weeks' time, when that light starts to fade in the evening, it's going to be a problem for teams that do that. They're going to be playing in the dark. No one wants to do that. When I finished the recording, I was chatting to a club member who told me just a few weeks ago he played in a game where 4 ends had to be replayed due to the end being killed by one or the other of the team. And of course that can happen as well. I didn't mention that, but I'm talking about when that doesn't happen, though, when it's just slow play during a game, which I think is quite easy to pick up the speed without losing focus. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because it's a very valid point. So I hope that helps. When it's your turn, make sure you've got the bowl in your hand, ready to bowl. Okay, good to see you. See you again soon.